Epiphany's Service and Outreach Committee lives out our care for our neighbors in many ways, including raising money to support nonprofit organizations with whom we partner locally and internationally. For 2025, our annual Have a Heart fundraiser highlights local efforts in assisting women and girls experiencing homelessness.
My journey with TeenFeed actually began when I used to be a guest. Many years ago, I used to rely on TeenFeed services in order to get food every night, as well as bus tickets and that kind of stuff. I took a Salesforce training program, and from there I was able to get an internship, which then turned into a position.
Volunteers make up the nurturing and caring side of the TeenFeed family, really embracing radical compassion and meeting our guests in whatever way our guests need our volunteers to show up for them for that day.
I think TeenFeed is different because we really strive to offer a community of support. I think that's one of the biggest things within the low-income and homeless community is having that support. Because I remember when I was a guest, one of the biggest things was not having people around me in order to find assistance and find people to talk to, so I really think that's what makes us different. TeenFeed doesn't have just one description of success. I feel like they find out which individual guest's definition of success is and then helps find a path to that. My definition of success was being self-sufficient and not having to rely on as many other people anymore and having my own ability to make choices and provide for myself.
Until I was homeless, I didn't comprehend how much energy and strength it takes to just be homeless, to survive every day. Even just being able to come in for a night is part of a healing process to get away from that life for a minute.
My name is LaShonda Irvis, and I work at Donna Jeans. I'm one of the overnight staff that oversees the program. I stay up all night so they can sleep peacefully.
We have accepted our place in this mission, which is getting people through the night. My name is Tonette Winston. I am the Director of Housing, Shelter, and Dispatch for Operation Night Watch.
It's not a soup kitchen, it's a community.
They are our past, and we can give them a future.
Night Watch is a vehicle for the entire community to work together to express love. We're literally on a daily basis saving lives and changing lives because we're finding different ways to just reflect light onto the path of the people who are in great darkness right now.
So to our donors, thank you for giving 24 people, senior citizens, that light.
You know, I've tasted the fire, and many of the staff here have tasted the fire, you know, so they understand, so they meet people where they are.
Yeah, just a little belief and help is a beautiful thing.
I'd like to give you a brief overview this evening of how Epiphany Parish helps out at the YWCA with its programs, both by your volunteer time and your donations. We basically help in 4 ways. Ann Beck and her team clean YWCA apartments between tenants. They not only clean them, but they spruce them up and try to make them personal. They do a lot of this from donations of gently used and new items from parishioners. The East Cherry Food Bank is another area that we are involved in. East Cherry serves 350 households per week. And we do a lot for them. We supply fresh produce by donations to the Hunger Basket. So when you walk by the Hunger Basket, you might want to put in a donation and think about how you're putting fresh produce on people's tables. The third area we participate in is seasonal food drives. We provide backpacks for children during the summer so they're ready for school and fall. We provide the means to procure Thanksgiving meals, and we also help out at Christmas. And finally, we help out with the Angelins Day Center. Angelins is a safe haven for homeless women. They serve over 200 women per day and also offer a night shelter. Our philosophy for giving to the YWCA is very specific. We recognize that they have large donors for their large projects, such as providing housing. So we try to target our services and donations to areas that would otherwise be unmet. Thank you so much for coming.
Not everybody's a bad person being out on the street or homeless. We all have our stories.
If you're living outside, every night you have to wonder where you're going to sleep tonight. And so you might spend all day on that, or all day just on trying to figure out how you're going to eat.
I lost a lot of morals and values out there in the streets, and it's very hard for a woman. It's a lot of sexual harassment. It's ugly.
I became homeless and lived in my car with my kids. I had a Ford pickup, an old truck, and so we lived in our truck.
The only reason I wasn't bothered by the rats was because the dog kept them out of the tent. My tent was about 3 feet up off the ground at all times, and all my food was kept up high. You know, so and the baby he didn't crawl at that time.
There's a huge benefit for any woman being taken out of that situation and kind of pushing themselves out of that situation. Not only do they have a community of women who can support them and be there for them and kind of be their backbone, you know, they have the support even from the men in the village.
If you're to be sleeping downtown in the like walkways or alleyways, whatever, you know, under the bridge, anybody can grab you at any time. But if you have a locking door, then in a little place where you can go, and it's got all the little essentials you need, that's all, you know what? It's going to give you a lot more room to grow, rather than being under that bridge, hoping and praying that somebody doesn't grab you.
See the red door to my tiny house? It stands there so tall and proud. I can leave here on a floating cloud. It has its own lock and key, don't you see? I can leave my treasures behind it ever so safely. Now when I come home at night, I can rest easy. No more restless nights due to fright. I am safe and sound behind my red door. When I turn around, I hit the lock, sit on the floor without even a sound, and thank God for my proud red door.
Your generous giving at the Have a Heart fundraiser also provides small grants to selected charitable organizations nominated by parishioners. Here are 2 grant recipients serving underhoused women in the Seattle area. Elizabeth Gregory Home serves homeless and at-risk women with a day center, a transitional housing program, and case management services. The Refugee Artisan Initiative supports refugee and immigrant women as they work to achieve economic stability. Please be generous in giving to service and outreach at Epiphany. And remember, although this year we are highlighting local efforts assisting unhoused women in this video, the Have a Heart fundraiser supports all of our service and outreach projects helping men and women here in Seattle and around the world. Thank you for joining us for Have a Heart 2025.